Take two.
I just like to find out if we're going to clap in sync.
We did.
I know we did, because there was a brief time when we were not always clapping in sync.
Oh my God. Sometimes I'll remember when we recorded and you were in that car and I just laughed to myself. But the audio was amazing.
Sometimes you just go to like extreme lengths to make things come together, you know?
I love how
That's
you're
all
like,
you can do.
You're like, I'm in an arena. This is going to happen. Stick with me. And I did. And it was a success.
And it worked out.
Oh my
and
God,
that was actually
totally.
a really fun episode. People really enjoyed the conspiracy theories, and we need to bring that back at some point.
I have so many conspiracy theories that I like write down. So I'm excited.
I want to do like more conspiracy theories. I really like doing the fashion one. Fashion was a lot of fun.
Fashion was great.
And now today, we're going to be talking to all y'all about a little thing called dating advice.
Oh my God, I'm excited about
Step into our corner,
this.
step into our office. We're going to teach you about life.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, so you're married.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Actually, this is a very funny thing, is that yesterday, my Twitter and my Instagram feed was like filled with all these people. I guess someone like made up this like fake interview with my boyfriend, with John, saying that we like got engaged in like such a nerdy way.
What?
It was such an embarrassing quote. I like texted it to him. I was like, ooh, breaking news. He was like, don't, like, what is this?
That's so weird.
It's just weird to me that people take the time to be like, oh my God, I've got this great idea. I'm going to pretend that these two people got engaged and I'm going to send it out to people.
Weird.
And it was all, I had like, yeah, a lot of people were like listening to that, but it's really the ridiculousness of people making up fake news.
Oh
More
my God.
fake news, everybody.
Oh, that whole thing. Ugh. That's
Yeah, it's
weird.
very odd. But yeah, I don't really understand. But anyways, no, I'm not engaged.
No, you're not.
Nope.
I am.
I'm not.
I was, and then I made it official. I slapped another ring on it, and now I'm married.
Okay, so how long were you guys dating before you got engaged?
Oh, I think like over 4 years. Oh, no, it was our 4-year anniversary we got engaged.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I was
I
like...
feel like you've told this story before of your
Yeah.
proposal, but why don't you share it again? It
Sure.
kind of works with this episode. By
Yeah.
kind of, I mean it 100% does.
I'll let me have a little mini stroke here while I think about the story. Essentially, I had no idea it was happening, and Brendan made me make him dinner, which I was pissed about, and because I want to go out and wear something nice.
Of
Anyways,
course.
I made vegan tacos.
Oh. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la, said hardly anybody. And as I was like angrily eating them, he was like, we should dance. And I'm like, oh, Brendan, God damn it. And I was like so sweaty from making them. And he asked me to dance. And then he was like being really weird and then got down on his knee. And I was like, what is happening? And I started sweating from my lip
God.
and my back. I ruined the shirt I was wearing. The dog thought he was getting a treat. Like he thought the ring was a treat and was like sitting beside Brendan. And then he asked me to marry him. And then I was like, I don't, what? And he was like, you say yes? And I was like, we don't do this. And,
Oh my God. So it
yeah.
was like, it was awkward but romantic.
Yeah, I mean, I would push awkward maybe a bit ahead of the romantic part because I think I single-handedly ruined the engagement. But
Well, I feel like Brendan would be a little bit awkward too.
oh, he was a wreck. He was like so upset the whole day, like was being really snippy with me.
Oh my God. Just because he was like nervous and wanted everything to like go perfect?
Yeah, I think he had like the ring with him the entire time. Yeah, he wanted it to be like perfect. Like if he's trying to do something really nice and it's like not working out, he gets very upset.
Poor little guy.
I know.
It's actually really adorable to picture Brendan like planning out the day, getting things together. So you didn't expect it at all after you guys had been together for 4 years. It was not a thing on your radar. You guys never
No.
talked. Did you guys ever talk about it?
Sure. I mean, you talk about it like you talk about anything, but I was just like, I really thought like, I knew we'd probably get married, but it was just like, we don't do that. Like, just I was kind of flippant about it.
So what do you mean by we don't do that?
Well, I was just like, it's such a epic thing, And I'm
Right.
like, we just eat pizza and like hope our dog doesn't like pee when people come to visit us. Like those are our two, like, you know. So when he asked, I was like, oh my God, like this is like such a romantic gesture.
But isn't that like kind of the key of like having a good relationship? Is like, that's what I love about like John and I is like, we just do like the most, I mean, aside from like traveling and doing all these other things, but in like the core of our relationship, it's like we're so normal and regular and like we're not looking to do anything.
No.
We like our big event is like going to the movies, and we have one place that we go to dinner that we always go to the point that like the bartender is always like, hey, you guys know that there's other restaurants here, right? And we're like, listen, just give us our shrimp ceviche and let's move on.
I thought you were going to just say like our salads. Just give us our sensible salads.
We're big into seafood. It's like it's a great little spot. It's like a mixture of like a Seattle fish house meets a sushi restaurant, so you can get both kinds of fish. It's awesome.
That does sound really good.
But I feel like that's like the cool thing being in a relationship is like, yeah, like being at home. Like we want to come home and like we watch The Bachelor on Wednesdays when we get home, and we like make popcorn and just like hang out. Like it's so regular. We never get like that, like, ooh, let's go out and go do something. Like, and maybe that's because of our lifestyle, because we're busy all the time. But I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's cool having your person that you can just do nothing with.
Oh, we're like the best of friends. We are. I mean, like, and that's the thing, though. It's like you really have to be cognizant then and like make sure that you're going on dates and you're like not just like farting at each other and going, you know what I mean?
Oh God, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been known.
To fart at Brendan?
Sometimes, like, there was, like, I'm not embarrassed by it, but, like, one time I was, like, farting so much, like, and again, I try to be as vegetarian as possible, so I do eat beans, but I was farting so much that Brendan woke me up and was like, enough, just enough with what you're doing, enough of it. Like, he can handle a couple farts, but it was, like, extreme. He was like, enough.
I actually feel like I don't fart around John that much.
That's great.
But I don't know why. It's not, I guess I don't really think, if I have to, I will. And I'll for sure blame the dog, obviously.
Right.
But I try not to. He is not of that nature.
But that's just like your dynamic. It's like there's nothing wrong with it or right with it. And that's what we're going to learn with the podcast
also,
today.
As I just said that, Blue just farted in the background, like audibly.
Really?
It's like a...
I'm going to like really pump that up so everyone can just enjoy that.
If we could just like record Blue's farts and make that the podcast, that would be our best rated episode.
When Vic farts, he like gets scared. Like he's like, "Oh,
oh my God!"
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Brendan are married. How long have you guys been married for?
Almost 2. We just celebrated our 1st year anniversary.
Is anything different from married life versus dating?
Oh my God, totally, guys.
Really?
Totally.
Like what?
Well, I think it's like there's like a finality to it. It's like you realize, oh, I've signed this like legal document.
Yeah.
This is my person. And I mean, like, there's like a freak out on both ends. Like, it's kind of like a crazy adjustment. Like, when people are like, it's the same. I mean, it is essentially the same. But I think it's like when you say, this is my husband, people view you differently now. They view your relationship differently. And then you as a couple differently. So it's like you kind of have to shift.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I mean, I understand, like, I guess like it's like the finality of it. I was talking to another friend of mine and she was like, yeah, like my favorite thing about fighting is that like our fights are different. We fight differently now because we're married and too bad.
Yeah.
You got to deal with some of my bullshit.
Totally. I mean, I was lucky enough that we were together long enough that he knew I was like a complete psychopath and
he knew what he was getting into.
He knew. But I mean, I think it's like this is how I think of it. Like, it's like your parents are married and they're boring or whatever. And then you have like a cool aunt who's had like a boyfriend for like 14 years. And you're like, they're so cool. Like Goldie and Kurt. You're just like, those are so awesome.
They're so great.
Right. And you're like, they're not, and then you're like, oh, married, boring people. And it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
So, no, it does make sense. So it's actually funny that you say that because this week I was just like catching up on some TV and like getting some ideas for some stuff. And I was watching a couple of the last episodes from Chelsea Handler's show before she wrapped up this season.
Oh, yeah.
And she had Kate Hudson on. And they were talking about that just in the regards of like, oh, like it was about tabloid things. And she was like, yeah, like, I mean, it still happens that people say that Goldie and Kurt got divorced. They say they got married, da-da-da. And Chelsea Handler was like, yeah, and, they have such a great relationship and they love each other. And Kate was like, well, yeah, sometimes. That, like, that's Kurt and Goldie Hawn. Everybody has their shit.
Oh, my God,
even
totally.
If it's, like, even if you find, like, the weird, stupid things that you guys fight about, and it will always be, like, the kind of common thread of stupid things that bubble up that you're like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
There's the thing that we're going to fight about. But, it's like having your different versions of the shit that you're going to fight about, but then also at a certain point letting it go and not caring about it anymore.
And I think Instagram is like the worst thing to happen to relationships.
Oh,
I do.
I think social media in general is one of the worst things to happen to relationships. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like, Brendan and I aren't really, like, I love to walk into a room and be like, hey, shitheads, like, look at me, everyone. But I think in our relationship, we're, like, so not like that. I think, I don't know if people see us that way, but, like, we're not going to be like, hey, boo, like, and put photos of ourselves up there. Ugh. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's
there's
like...
There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that that's a different kind of relationship. But I feel like relationships that feel like they need to be very showy and to tell people how in love they are is like, I don't like projecting that to other people. And that's the thing with John and I. And we had like, for the most part, had always been very private about our relationship. And we still are.
That makes sense. And how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for 3.5 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And we've always been super private about our relationship, aside from doing a reality show. But even in regards to that, it's like we're still, so they filmed at our house once. Yeah. And we're still not really giving our whole relationship to people. We're giving them the Instagram version of our relationship. Right. We're just being like, okay, here's what you can see of our relationship, but you can't see this other side. And you have to be able to save some of that stuff for yourselves. Because I feel like also like getting so caught up, I couldn't imagine me saying to John, like, oh my God, can you pose in this cute picture with me so I can put it on the internet? Like he would not tolerate it at all. Because he thinks all that stuff is so ridiculous anyways. But I know people get so caught up in how people perceive their own lives and relationships. It kind of defeats the purpose. It's like you're having a relationship for other people to admire or aspire to be like.
For sure. And it's like, and we're all guilty of it, but it's like, especially when you're in like a lull in your relationship, which everyone hits, it's like you see these people having the best time and you forget that this is all for show. And I'm sure when the picture's done, they're having similar issues. It's like, our first year of marriage was certainly not perfect by any means, and we struggled, but it was like we either had to like sit down and have real conversations, which we did, and we're so proud that we did that. But it was ugly for a bit for sure. And then lots of times I was looking at Instagram being like, oh my God, my life, It was horrible.
Well, I'm like that with Instagram with a meal I eat or an outfit I wear. It's like you can look at anything and be like, oh, why didn't I cook this amazing meal?
I know.
Why didn't I buy those jeans? They make her butt look so great.
Yeah.
Like you can look at anything and relate it to whatever the weird insecurity is that you're having with anything.
It's true. It is true. Ugh.
And I used to always sometimes I would not understand. I've always been a very open person, and I always have been ever since I got into being on TV and being like a person on television, like being a personality on TV. I've always been really open about that. But now I've really learned the value of not feeling like you. Like I love not having my phone near me. I love not being obsessed with being on my phone. Not to say that I don't scroll through my phone like everybody else. Of course I do that. But I'm a lot more mindful of not doing that. And I will credit a lot of that to John, because I'll say one of the best things, he's got many great things about him, but the fact that he is not a person that's glued to his phone. He's not trying to see what people are saying or what people are doing. And I think because of that, when we're home, we talk to each other. And when we're in a car, we talk to each other. Like, we have like a relationship based on our communication and like us enjoying being together.
That's nice.
As opposed to like people like that are just obsessed with being on their phone and like ignore their partner when they're in the room. And I feel like that happens to so many people when you end up on your phone and say you're even like in a group text with a bunch of friends, and then you're ignoring the person that's in the room with you and talking to all these other people that aren't actually around.
Oh, yeah. And that's, I'm so guilty of that. I'm now thinking about it going, oh God.
I think like at some point everybody has been guilty of doing that. But it's it's a habit that I try not to be into. And now I feel like when I'm on my phone too much, I'm like, ugh, I can't take it anymore. Get it away from me. I don't even want to look at it. I also think my phone makes me stupid. So I try to stay away from it.
Yeah, I mean, like Brendan and I have like this morning ritual where he calls it reading the internet, but what he's reading is like really smart, and what I'm reading for sure is making me very dumb.
For sure. Yeah, like I was like, yeah, we actually do a very similar thing. Like the other day, John was in Canada doing shows in Canada, and he's like, he was in Saskatoon, I think, and he was like, man, Saskatoon's so boring. No offense, anybody from Saskatoon.
He's like, flat.
But he's like, now I understand the guy that ran across Canada. And I was like, oh, Terry Fox? And he was like, he didn't know who Terry Fox was, but me knowing John, I knew that he was immediately going to research everything on Terry Fox and have all that information because he wants to know everything about it. And then when I saw him next, he was like, man, that Terry Fox guy was a badass. He did this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, I knew immediately he was going to research it. I knew he was going to have that information.
That's so funny.
As opposed to like, me, sometimes when I'm on my phone, I'm like, ooh, who wore what? What are these websites? What is this beauty tip? Like, I'm into looking. But that's just those are the things that I like.
Yeah. I mean, like, am I doing that? Yes. Did we pass around some photos of velour suits this week? Yes, we did. And it was important.
Those things are important.
You said
those are very important. And I think that was critical, especially given our fashion episode last week about my, what did we call it?
Culottes?
My fashion something chic.
What?
What did we? I sent the velour suit because it said that it was. Hold on, let me try.
It was the velour suit was apocalyptic chic or something, which I was like, this is insane. You have to buy this suit. I just
pulled it up like as you said it. Yeah. I found it. Apocalyptic chic. And that's my MO.
And unrelated, Brendan and I spent a little couple time cleaning out my closet. I threw out so many or donated, I should say, so many clothes.
He helped you do that? He deserves an award.
I know, because he had to be like, that needs to go. That's hideous. And like, I don't have normal clothes. Like, I'm a hoarder. If I find something weird, I'm like, ooh, this could be a character. And he's like, just throw it out.
Ditch it.
Get it, enough. Yeah.
If I had John do that, I would just end up with jeans and white t-shirts.
And then you guys would be the same.
It's a great classic look. I'm not opposed to it, but I know that's like I could never let him into my closet. Absolutely not.
I mean, Brendan has like 4 shirts. He has a certain look. Although when I first met Brendan, he wore like these huge oversized like hoodies with like teddy bear stuffing material in the hood. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you mean.
And he used to wear these huge jeans. And I was like, you have the body of a pencil. Like, what are you doing? You know? So I had to like help him.
John got like annoyed at me this week. So Wednesday this week, which will be after this airs, I'm going to get microblading done.
Yes.
So I'm going to get my eyebrows done. And I was explaining this to him. We were talking last night on the phone about like our plans for the week. And he's like, okay, well, Wednesday we can do this when we get home. I'm like, ooh, I've actually got to go to LA to get my eyebrows done. He's like, why are you going to LA to get your eyebrows done? I don't understand. I'm like, listen, you'll thank me later. He's like, why? When am I going to care about that?
You'll thank me later.
Listen, you get on my case about these ridiculous things I do, and it's not like, I mean, it's a little ridiculous, but it's not that ridiculous. Like, I don't get on you for wearing the same jeans for 3 weeks in a row. Get off of it, brother.
You got to just find compromise.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Okay, so what about, like, so you had one boyfriend before Brendan?
No, I've had many after, but I had one.
One serious one.
Yeah.
I've had. And that's going to make this a lot more fun for me. I thought that we were going off of just Doug.
Oh no! I love how we're like using the name. I feel bad.
Shout out to Doug.
Yeah,
it's okay.
He was a real.
I'm sure he was a great guy.
Yeah, he was. No, I dated other people after that, and then met Brendan. And I will say it's like the oddest. Brendan and I meeting and starting to date is like a very bizarre. Getting together. There was like no games, no bullshit. We were like instantly dating. Like it's very weird.
So I think that is I think that should be like one of the number one tips.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
No bullshit.
You know what makes me insane is I have so many girlfriends that like, if they're like not in a relationship or they're like have a thing going with like a not a super serious boyfriend and they're like, I really don't like the idea of like girlfriends texting their other girlfriend's significant other. I've had people be like, is this okay to like text to my boyfriend? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a third party. Don't get me involved in this.
Right.
But like people play like these games or they like have like some like weird idea of what they need to like, I don't know. The whole games thing is pure bullshit. Just if you like someone, just be with that person. Is that not simple enough?
And yeah, and if you're trying to get with someone and he's like, or he or she, whoever is like doing the text after 3-day thing or
that's
playing
such
too
garbage.
cool, it's like get rid of them. It's so not worth your time. It's just not.
I've always been of like the practice that like if you like someone and you feel like you want to text them with obviously within reason of not being a full blown psychopath.
Oh,
but if you're just being like a genuinely interested and want to know what's up with somebody always prefers to receive that text than to not. Nobody wants to feel like the loser that has to keep checking their phone to see if they got a message.
Absolutely.
That is not fun.
And don't like, listen, I'm not cool and I certainly didn't play it cool. Did someone I dated call me crazy and then I screamed at them in the street and said, I'm not crazy, but this is now crazy? Yes, I've done it. Guys.
You've made me crazy.
Was he a Christian jazz musician? Yes, he was.
Good for him. Shout out to Creed real quick.
Creed.
Not that they were jazz, but
they weren't.
You get my drift.
Yeah. Like I have certainly not played it cool. And now with hindsight, I'm like, I wish I had told those pieces of garbage to just jump in the trash can because I played the game way too long and I lost every time. Spoiler alert, you will lose every time.
I actually feel like I've been very lucky. Mm-hmm. I can't really think of an ex-boyfriend that I could really say much bad about. I've always dated like really good guys. Like,
God damn it, Renee.
I know. I'm very, very lucky with it. That like they were all like good, cool dudes that I ultimately just like wasn't fully in love with, I guess.
And that's fair.
But they were great dudes, like great guys that I would still be totally friends with all of them.
Right.
But there was one guy that I would not say that I dated this person, but he was like super intense. Ooh. And I got a very bad vibe from him, but I was not dating anybody at the time. So this guy was like very persistent to the point that I was like, I've never had somebody be that persistent to wanting to like hang out with me. He's like, no, so I'm going to pick you up. We're going to go to dinner. We're going to do this thing, whatever. And I was like, I mean, I don't have other plans, so I guess.
Yeah, okay.
And he kept, and I actually this was over a course of like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. And I would say to him like, hey, like, and I was like, I was so honest with him because I was just like, yeah, like, I'm not that into you, and I'm
oh my god,
yeah, because he just wouldn't drop it. So he just kept saying like, no, we're like, this is fine, we should probably be together and we should go on a date, we'll go hang out, me and you would be like a great couple together. And
this guy sounds like a psychopath.
Oh, he's a full-blown psychopath. So this is what made me like keep him at arm's length, because I'm like, I don't know like what this guy's deal is, but he's like really pushing for me to hang out with him. I've never had somebody make that much of an effort and insisting that we should be like together and hanging out. And he was like a very like smart, cultured, he was like at the top of his game. And the thing, like he was not like, you wouldn't necessarily think that he would be a weirdo.
Like he was a psychopath, but like he looked really nice, but he was like really good at being a psychopath.
Oh, full blown. Yeah. So, and then I said to him, I was like, yeah, like I'm not that into you. I don't think that we should continue seeing each other. He's like, no, I think that we should. I think it's fine. So I'm like, what? What do you say to somebody that you just like, that I can't even break up with you because I'm not dating you.
Right. I've heard this is a good tactic. A lot of people, I didn't know that when someone broke up with you, you could just say, no, we're still together. But that works sometimes, apparently.
It was honestly, like, in hindsight, I should have just, I mean, this was only over the course of a couple weeks, so it's not like it dragged on. But even of me saying, like, yeah, I'm not that into you, and him being like, no, we should still see each other. And I actually found it kind of funny. Like, I found it comical that I was, like, talking to my girlfriends. This is, like, one of those examples where I'm like, this guy's nuts. But how about I go see him again so that we can all talk about it later because it's so bonkers.
Oh, Renee's.
I know. And then he, like, wanted to go, he wanted to take me to, like, Montreal or something. And I'm like,
what?
I don't think this is a good idea. Yeah. So I was at his house and he fell asleep. He got, like, drunk and fell asleep. And I crept out of his house and, like, grabbed my purse and I, like, ran to my car and then never spoke to him ever again. He, like, called me. He's like, where'd you go? I'm like, I told you I don't like you. I told you I don't want anything to do with you. Let's just not ever see each other again. And yeah, it was super awkward and weird. And then turned out that he was a full-blown psychopath, but I'll save that for another episode.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to write that down because I already have a lot of questions, but okay.
Yeah, I know that that's kind of left open-ended, but that's the information that I'm willing to give up.
We'll address it. Yeah.
But yeah, very, very odd. But anyways, he was very insistent, which doesn't, when somebody's being insistent does not mean that you need to date them.
No. And here's a good regular girl hot tip for dating. I just trust your gut.
Totally. And that's what that was. I was trusting my gut, and I had a couple girlfriends that, like, knew who he was, and they're like, oh, he's cool. You should, like, go out with him.
But you knew.
And I knew in my gut. I was like, there's something up with this guy. I'm not feeling it. I need to, and yeah, you always got to go with your gut.
Because, I mean, you're never wrong. You know what you need to do, and you know if you need to stay or go. And sometimes you stay for another year because you just don't want to deal with it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People love to not deal with things.
Oh, my God. That's when they go to Instagram.
Yeah.
Got deep. So here's my question. So what is your ideal first date?
Ooh.
Yeah.
My ideal first date. I mean, honestly, I feel like just going out and, like, having a couple drinks and some food. Like, I'm not looking for, like, an extravagant.
Me neither.
I like to talk. I'm a talker. I want to sit and, like, I want to talk to somebody. I want to learn about them.
Yeah.
So just going out and, like, in somewhere where you can actually talk. If you go somewhere where it's, like, too loud and you can't talk, or it's too busy, you can't get a drink, like, I want to go to, like, a weird, quiet little, like, divey bar.
So fun.
Hang out there, go somewhere cool and get some food, maybe walk around. Like, I think I'm a bit of a basic bitch.
No, I like that too, because one of my ideal first dates is dinner and a movie, because I like movies and I like to eat. Although a first date stresses me out with eating, because
me too.
I love to eat, and it's like, well, when we go to the movies, like, do we get snacks? Like, what if he doesn't want snacks and I'm going to be mad for half the movie that I don't have snacks?
But here's the thing on that. If you go on a date with somebody to the movies and they don't get a snack, run the hell away.
I know, right?
You can't date someone that doesn't get snacks at the movie. Get real.
When people
if
don't
I went to the
snack
movies with somebody and they didn't order snacks, like, that would be such a huge turnoff for me. I love going to the movies. I like having movie snacks, and if you don't participate in that, we can't date.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, I'm stressing out just thinking about it, because, like, how do you not snack during a movie? Like, get a water. Like, it doesn't need to be like a Coke, but it's like, eat something.
Be a Coke, but, like, you can have a Diet Coke. Come
on.
Have
a Coke Zero. Everyone be normal about it.
Yeah, just get some. Even if you just get a small popcorn and eat a little bit of it, don't ruin the snack game at the movies because you're, like, on a diet or something. Ugh.
I know.
No
just go
way.
for it. But I do like dinner in a movie, or like drinks in a movie or something, because the movie is like when you figure out if you have, like, physical chemistry, or, you know, that kind of thing.
Actually, that's true, because you decide, like, if you're leaning towards someone. Yeah, sure. That's actually a really good point. And it's cool too, because you go out, you chat, you hang out, and then you can just kind of, like, hang, and you can't actually talk to each other because it's rude to everybody else in the movie.
Now, I should say, though, like, I don't really have any, like, experience with, like, Tinder or...
No, me neither.
Or, like, you know, OkCupid or any of that stuff. So the dates that I've been on are with people I, like, kind of knew already. So I'm not saying that maybe you don't know anyone. It's a complete stranger and you watch a movie with them. That might be a total nightmare.
Yeah, I've the guy that I just talked about is one of the only times I can really think of that I went on an actual date with somebody.
That you didn't know beforehand.
And I knew him. I knew him a little bit. I'd run into him a few times, so he wasn't a complete stranger. But yeah, I've only ever dated people that I've known, that I'm just kind of like, oh, you're all right. I guess we'll date for a little bit.
Yeah, me too. That's kind of strange. But I will say, like, my one girlfriend, she had this whole summer when we lived together, and she was doing the OkCupid, I think it was OkCupid thing, and she was just living her life. I was like into it. Good for you.
Some people get I've seen like tons of people that get into that. Whereas I guess it's
awesome.
Depends on your lifestyle. It depends on like what you're looking to do. And I'm all for it. If that's a thing that you're into doing, go for it. And go get your Cupid.
Oh yeah. And here's another regular girl hot tip is like, if you find that you're dating the same wieners, and I mean men and women, because they can both be wieners.
Definitely.
Internet dating's the best, because then you like get out of your group and your rut. You know what I mean?
And, yeah, you can and then you can go meet other people's friends.
Yes.
And just you can expand so much more.
Totally.
I think that would be I mean, I know lots of people that have met people online.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a norm now. It's such a norm that it's almost not even worth talking about, because I feel like so many people. That's. I don't really know I don't know how people meet people.
You would have to.
I don't even know. I'm like that with I was talking before about finding new girlfriends in Las Vegas, because I don't know how adults meet other adults and actually hang out. I mean, it's different, totally. Especially if you're hey, you want to be friends? That's obviously weird. As opposed to hey, do you want to hang out and see where it goes?
I went on a friend date. Did I talk about that on the podcast?
No.
Yeah, here in LA, I went to this mixer. And for women.
What exactly is a mixer?
Well, it was for women writers, so it's in comedy. So I went. It was really informative, but I went by myself. That's when I saw Ellen DeGeneres and Portia.
What? You saw Ellen and Portia?
Yes, I did.
What the hell? How am I just hearing this?
I haven't. Oh, okay. So I went to this mixer. I was by myself because I was trying to make friends.
They must have been 2 unicorns nuzzling in the back. Oh my God.
They were. They were like a beam of light. And I walked into this bar. I was by myself to go to this mixer. And I walk in, and there's Portia and Ellen. Ellen is beaming, she just looked rich. And she was eating breakfast potatoes and just had the life I've always wanted. And her and Portia were laughing with a friend. It was joyous.
God, she's I've heard she's stunning in real life.
Gorgeous.
Too. Is she very pretty?
They both were gorgeous. Her eyes are gorgeous. I was in love.
You know when you can tell someone you're they just look rich. They've got that tan.
Yeah.
Their teeth are white. You can tell they use expensive hair products. Oh my God.
She was just wearing a white t-shirt and she looked so expensive.
Good for her.
Yeah.
What a great, that's one of the best celebrity sightings I could imagine. To see them together, oh my God.
Oh my God. I knew it was a unicorn. I was oh my God. But anyways, during the mixer, I met this girl, very nice. And we exchanged numbers, as you do, and you're about to go on a friend date. And we went on a friend date, and we just kind of sussed each other out. And I guess we both decided it wasn't meant to be. But I realized in that moment, I took over the masculine role where I was are you cold? Do you want to go outside? Do you want to sit inside? What do you want to do? She ordered a poutine.
Where did you guys go? What did you do?
We went to this
did you call it a friend date? Were you both aware that you were on a friend date?
I mean, I kept calling it that. Maybe that's why she didn't call me back. But she ordered a poutine, and she was right? You're Canadian?
Great.
You must this. But I was an American poutine's not really a Canadian
not the same,
poutine.
No,
it was mozzarella with gravy. It was what a joke.
No, it's worth sneezing at. It's stupid.
Yeah, and it was awkward and uncomfortable, and but I really had to take on the lead. And then we hugged goodbye, and that was it.
God.
We were never to
you
be
guys
friends.
never talked ever again?
Never again. Never again.
My God. So I did something kind of similar to that, and I guess in my head I called it a girlfriend date too. I definitely did not say it to her, but she was is a yoga instructor at the place that I do yoga here, and she's super cool. Like, I walked in, like, this was like me being hesitant when I moved to Las Vegas, and I'm like, oh God, like, is everyone here going to be like strippers and weird? Nothing against strippers, but just not really my lifestyle or my speed. And then I walked into this girl's yoga class, and she was like playing the Stone Roses and Pixies, and like had like really cool music for her yoga class. And she was just like this, like, she looked really cool. So we had like kind of like developed our relationship over time of me going to the class. We'd say hey, but that was kind of the extent of it.
Right.
And then one day we actually did go out and go. We went to go grab like food and some drinks and stuff.
Lady date.
And I bogarted the conversation hard. I didn't mean to. I just like, she didn't really talk.
Yeah.
So I just kept talking and kept trying to like ask her questions.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, does she not like me? Are we not having a good time? Because maybe I don't know. I don't know how that works, but it was very awkward.
And did you talk again after that?
Just in passing when I see her at yoga, but we don't hang out.
See, you made the decision. You guys aren't going to be friends.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, so I guess maybe she didn't like me, and I thought maybe we had a thing. But when we see each other at yoga, we're like, hey, girl, how are you? And like exchange the hug, have a quick little chit chat. But then nice. I just go into my child's pose, and that's it.
But also I feel like, and maybe Vegas is the same as LA, where it's just a land of bailing. And people it's easier to just stay home than like keep the relationship going.
Actually, that's very true, and I feel like that's got to be true. Well, it's different in like a romantic relationship because you hope to have a different outcome at the end of your night, aka that penetration.
Yeah. Oh, I love how you were like penetration. I was like smooching, hand holding, high fiving.
You just got to get to it. Okay, so actually, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Are you a person that you require a certain amount of dates or a certain amount of knowing somebody before? Being intimate with them.
Who cares? No.
I think who cares as well, especially when you're an adult and you've been down that road. When you're young adults,
but if you're young and listening to this, wait.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, you're talking to two grizzled women in their 30s.
I'm wearing a ripped up WWE sweater right now. Grizzled.
Oh my God, cool. Who do you got on?
No, it's just, remember when I needed that sweater for that sketch and you were so nice and sent me
yes.
this? Yeah.
What's
WrestleMania.
On it,
it's a WrestleMania sweater.
WrestleMania one. Yeah. I'm wearing a hoodie with a map on it.
It's so adorable. But wait, because in high school, it's like, they just,
Well,
it's not the right time.
So the difference is when you're an adult, you're living your life and you have already figured out who you are. You know who you are.
Yeah.
People kind of have a taste of who you are. But when you're like younger, that's when labels come around.
Totally.
And people want to point a finger and people talk about it. Nowadays, not nowadays. When you're older, nobody talks about it or cares about it.
No. And I'm all like, once you're living your life, like if you're feeling it, go for it. Be safe about it. Because it's like, if you don't have chemistry, like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You got to figure it out.
Yeah. Who made up this 3-date rule? Like, that's the thing. It's overcomplicating it when it doesn't need to be complicated.
There's too many of these rules that like our grandmothers made up that we feel like we need to like stick with.
Totally. Absolutely. And like my sister who's like this like renegade hippie who like has a Darth Vader tattoo because it was on sale at the shop.
That sounds awesome. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I love tattoos that are dumb.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, why'd you get that? She goes, it was $30, dude. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. But she dated this guy and she said to him like, I love you. And she'd been with him for a while. And she said, I love you to him. And then he broke up with her. And heartbreaking. They'd been together a long time.
So sad.
I know. But my sister was like, who cares? I go, what do you mean who cares? Like, aren't you like upset? She's like, well, I'm upset, but and I'm like, are you like regretting saying it? She's like, why? That's how I felt and he doesn't feel it. And now I know and we move on. And I was like, that's like a woman who knows herself. I know, but that's a great tip. And I've like kept that with me moving forward with like my dating shenanigans.
And it's nice to like do that, like especially like if she had not told him She wanted to. So she did the thing that she wanted to do and then, kind of dealt with the repercussions of it. Good for her. That's actually so badass.
Totally. It's like if you're feeling the thing, say the thing. I mean, this is like, don't be a psychopath about it, like you said.
Sure.
But if you feel the thing, say the thing. If they don't agree, then it's like, great, this was fun. Goodbye.
Exactly. I think that you can easily to be able to move on and make that decision and to not have any regrets about if you do the thing that you feel like you should do. Because whether it's saying I love you or whether it's just even a first kiss with somebody or asking somebody even out or telling somebody that you like them, you should do it because it's your damn life and you should do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. And your feelings should be validated. Well, not validated, but your feelings should be heard because sometimes they won't be validated and you got to deal with that.
You need to externalize them. You need to get them out into the world and you got to put it out into the world.
Because you'll regret it otherwise. I mean, I think about my time in high school. I was so scared to just admit I liked somebody.
Yeah.
That when I hit adulthood, I was like, oh, you can just tell a guy you like them and they won't throw mud in your face.
They don't just punch you kids in the playground.
Yeah. You want to go.
Here's another regular girl hot tip. Ooh. When you're in a relationship, be in that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Be in that relationship and be faithful. Why aren't people faithful anymore?
Well, listen,
what's the deal with faithfulness? Am I right?
Am I right, guys?
I feel like we live in such a society. I'm on my soapbox right now.
Okay.
We live in such a society where people are and I blame our generation for this. Is we have that 90-second attention span where we're always looking for the next thing, always kind of looking in another direction for things that we want or looking on Instagram for the life that we want to have, that you don't appreciate the thing that you have. And when you're in a relationship, especially if you're in a happy relationship with somebody that you love, recognize that and appreciate it. Because I see, you see sometimes people that throw things away because they were selfish or in their own head about something that they don't appreciate the thing that they have until that thing is no longer.
Or if you're done, then be done.
Yes, and if you do find yourself being uninterested or that you don't want to be with that person, then just break it off. Break it off and own up to it. Own your shit. If you don't want to be with somebody, just tell them. But if you do actually really love somebody, be cool about that.
But also, we've all made mistakes. No. Okay.
You. Okay, so yes, everybody has made mistakes. But
sure.
I guess I'm trying to think in I mean when you're in a real relationship.
Well, I used to watch, and I still watch, although it's gotten crappier, Millionaire Matchmaker with Patty.
Oh my God, I forgot about that show.
The show's
what a
amazing.
Program.
It's here's the thing. If you're new to the program and I'm telling you something new, watch the first seasons. These current ones are garbage. But anyways, she always talks about the bigger, better deal, and people stress about that, which is kind of like the Instagram life, right? We're looking for the bigger, better thing ahead of us.
She's in support of the bigger, better thing?
No, she thinks it's horrible. But that's the thing. It's if you're searching for the bigger, better deal, then you are not probably happy with what you have now.
For sure.
But that's a whole nother big, deep, sad conversation.
Oh my God, isn't it? Okay,
I know.
I feel like we've droned on and on about the things to do and very serious conversations about dating.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to talk about. Me and you, big fans of The Bachelor. This is my first season watching it.
Yes.
Why don't we talk about first date appropriate attire?
Oh, okay. Well, it depends.
Because we were watching The Bachelor the other night. This was actually a couple weeks ago, and you see what the girls wear when they go on their dates with Nick, and and it's different for everybody. Obviously, I am not a bandage dress gown kind of lady. That is not my deal.
Not going to happen.
And I asked John that. I'm like, what do you think I would wear on a first date? He's like, I don't know, jeans and a leather jacket. I'm like, you mean dressed like you? Actually, you're right. He was right. I probably would have worn that. Or just a t-shirt. I love t-shirts. Everybody know that I love t-shirts.
But you got cool t-shirts.
I have so many cool t-shirts. But yeah, it's I feel like...
What?
I don't know how to say this without seeming like I'm being a dick. But like, I feel like so many times women go on dates and they want to like put all of their assets forward. Is that always necessary?
You're talking to the wrong person, obviously. I love a turtleneck. Sidebar, the Oscars was just yesterday, and Shirley MacLaine and I were both wearing black turtlenecks. Anyway, spoiler.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, she was wearing a glitter blazer, and I was like, ooh, this would take my outfit to another level. I think on The Bachelor, it's like, you know, I think producers are really helping them put their stuff together.
Of course. But I mean, have you not gone out somewhere and just seen people when you're like, oh, they're clearly on like a first date or they've just started dating and it's like the sky high heels. Maybe that's just how people are more comfortable, and I'm just shitting on it because I'm not comfortable like that. Well, So maybe I should mind my own damn business.
I always get self-conscious with high heels because I feel like people are just staring at them. So like the odd time I'm wearing them, I feel like people are looking at me going, where are you going?
Totally.
Although I did dress up one time for like an anniversary date, and I got free potatoes from the keg and a free bottle of wine.
Because you were dressed up?
They thought it was cute. I think they were laughing at me, but they did give me wine and potatoes, which is like, that's going to be the name of my first book, Wine and Potatoes.
Wine and Potatoes.
The Stacey McGunnigle story.
I dressed up when John and I, this year for New Year's, we were in Fort Lauderdale together, and I was like, I'm going to put on a cute outfit. But here's the thing, because I never do that. I mean, he sees me dressed up for like work and stuff all the time, but I never dress up in our real life. And I'm like, I put on like a cool like 90s slip dress, and I had on like floral docks. Like I wasn't like over the top. Like it was a cute outfit, but it wasn't like I was still in flat shoes. Let's all get real about it.
Right.
But as I'm like getting ready, I'm like doing my hair and like actually trying to do my makeup. He's like, what is taking so long? Why do you have on these lashes? Like he was like annoyed by the process. Instead of being like, oh my God, you look really nice. He was like, this is stupid. Can we just go get a drink?
But he's like a dude's dude. Like he doesn't get it. I mean, like, you know what I mean? He doesn't get it.
It's so funny. But I love that he's like that because it makes me so much more like, okay, whatever. I don't need to put on this stupid dress. He doesn't care.
He does care. I will say like Brendan is like an incredibly quiet person. I mean, you know this, but he does like his style. Like now that I'm like, you don't need to wear big jeans all the time. Like he sort of really enjoys to go shopping.
Oh my God, that's adorable. I would like to picture. I want to see Brendan like online shop.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that. He doesn't get sizes and ordering and checkout carts. But he loves a nice, like he likes to dress up. He likes to look nice. And now like I really wanted a denim jacket, and then he bought one first, and now I have one. So now we show up together and people just call us like the double denims, and it sucks.
I think that's great. I want to be part of a double denim. I keep trying to get John to get on the denim bandwagon. I think he'd look great in a denim jacket. He's like, no.
Just buy one. Just buy him one. That's what you have to do. You just have to go, this is what you're wearing. He won't care.
Because not that he won't wear it, he'll lose it. Anytime I bought him something nice, he loses it.
A denim jacket
he loses everything nice. I can't buy him anything. I've given up.
Go to Target. You can just keep replacing them.
That's true. That's how he dresses, because he wears white t-shirts and jeans. He goes on the road and he just packs like a couple t-shirts, and then he'll just buy more on the road and he just throws them out on his way.
I honestly just want to I just want to follow him around for a week. Just me and him. I just like suss out his lifestyle.
Well, I would like that should be a documentary.
Oh my God.
See, like you two, like you traveling with him the way that I do. And
just like I want to be in a car with John and just being like, what are you thinking about? Like, let me tell you where I'm coming from.
It would be so fantastic. Oh my God, I would watch that on like repeat. It would be so funny.
I'm going to pitch that him and I apply for The Amazing Race and just see how far we get. But Brendan and I, we always talk ourselves out of like dressing up and doing nice things and stuff like that. Cause I mean, we end up just staying home and like being in sweatpants. So it's like, it is nice sometimes to dress up, but it's a lot of effort. That was a weird transition, but
I don't mind I used to enjoy getting ready a lot more. I don't enjoy the process as much anymore. Now it is time consuming and annoying to me.
Right.
But I used to love getting like ready and doing my makeup and doing my hair, and now I don't really want to bother with it. But I do feel like when you talk to like older couples or people that have like been together for a while, like I feel like they say like you have to like go on dates with each other and like go do those things. Like I do think that it's important.
You have to push yourself to do it. And we should do this in a separate podcast, but like you can do like a real nice quick makeup face in like 10 minutes. I just watched this tutorial. God. It's life-changing.
So
life-changing.
Easy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I ever take longer than 10, 15 minutes doing my makeup.
No, it's true.
And when I'm home, it's less than that. I'm talking like when I think I'm getting ready to go on TV.
Yeah. What would you say is like, okay, so you think you should go to like a little dive bar, which I agree. And what's the date style? Here's my ideal style for a first date. Skinny jeans, black boots, tuck in a little shirt or whatever. And then like, leather jacket, denim jacket, tousle the hair, maybe a fun lip, but nothing like red or that will like fade. And you're good to go.
Oh, that's actually a really good point, is the lip fading. I think about that often.
Yeah.
But I do think that that's key because I like a good tousled hair.
Yeah.
Like a little like kind of like ripped skinny jean. I have like some really cute booties that I'm obsessed with that are like these like, I think I've talked about them on the fashion.
With the stars on the back?
With the stars. I wear those all the time. And I've got so many like cute, fun little jackets, and then like I always let the jacket kind of speak for itself, or the t-shirt speak for itself, and then everything else is kind of understated and pared down.
And maybe buy yourself a little something special so you feel a little pep in your step for the first date. Maybe a fancy pair of underwear, maybe a fancy little new shirt, and so you feel a little sassy.
Nice underwear really makes you feel a different way.
Totally. And listen,
it really does.
I'm wearing a sports bra right now and underwear with a huge hole in the ass, but let me tell you,
I'm not even wearing a bra right now. Think about that.
Huge. I think this bra's from Target.
Just living. I also think, and this is something that I would like to get more into the world of, because I do feel like it's a nice thing for you and for your partner, but I really wish that I had a signature scent. I feel like having a good smell when you're on a date is nice.
Me too. I haven't found a nice perfume. If you're listening to this, send them my way.
Oh my God, please.
I don't know.
I'm dying to find the perfume that I want to make my perfume. I don't have the time and effort to put one on and then live with it for a couple hours to decide if it smells good on me.
Now, have you tried Jo Malone?
Yes. So I just got Jo Malone roses.
Oh.
Because I love rose scent.
Me too.
I know like people say it's like old lady.
I love it.
I love that too. I don't think it's old lady-ish.
Yeah.
So I got the Jo Malone roses, but I think there's one called like black roses or velvet roses or something that apparently is also really awesome. So they have a Jo Malone at the JFK airport. So next time I'm there, that's when I'm going to buy it.
There's also a really nice one. I think it's called like Sea Salt and Sage, which I think it's that. But it's like really like just a beautiful kind of like herbally. I mean, I'm Dr. Quinn, so that's sort of like
I love that. No, I
fancies.
Like. I even do like those like nerdy like patchouli kind of smell sprays, like those like health spray things. I really like them.
Okay, here's
maybe
the thing.
Not patchouli, maybe more like sage.
Patchouli is a night ender because I was staying at this Airbnb and they had a diffuser that was just patchouli, and the entire time like I would leave my house, people are like, "What do you smell like?" Like numerous people. I'm out on patchouli. I can't.
Okay. I guess like if it's like patchouli mixed with something, patchouli, even the word patchouli makes people go like, no thanks, give me back my dreads and my beanie bag, I'm out of here. So I guess I don't mean patchouli. I think it's more of like that sage, like that, just like that very earthy, natural kind of smell.
Although I will say,
it's nice.
I saw Chris Pine, who I love, and he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he said he was in a patchouli phase, and I was like, I just became a woman. That's glorious. I'm in love with you.
That's it. Well, sign me up.
I saw Chris Pine in person in LA. This is unrelated, but quick. And I did scream at him. So he was so attractive. I screamed. I was in my car. He was in his car. It was like this.
What did you scream?
Like that scream. The scream. I just screamed.
One celebrity that I like ran into, and it was such a weird natural reaction. I was crossing the street. I was like in Times Square, and Bobby Flay was right there. And I was like, "Oh my God, you're Bobby Flay!" And he was like, "Yep." And then we just kept going. Like I was like so excited that I saw Bobby Flay that I just like said his name to him.
Was he just holding up poblano pepper in Times Square?
I love Bobby Flay.
I love Bobby Flay too.
He's actually a babe, FYI.
He didn't treat his ex-wife very well. I will
really?
say. Oh, that's worth a Google.
Oh, I will Google it. I'm
Yeah.
going to Google that, and maybe it'll change my perspective.
It might a little. It might a little. So now I guess we're nearing the end. So did we cover everything? Like, what did we miss here? Like,
I mean, I don't feel like this was necessary. I feel like this is more of a relationship advice instead of just a dating advice.
Yes, because
which I think is okay.
I think it's
but
great.
Here's the thing: why don't you guys send us
questions?
I would like to have specific questions from people that we could
agree.
answer. So why don't you guys like send us actual questions of like relationship advice, dating advice, any of those kinds of things, like what to wear, what things to look out for, like
what to
send
eat,
us whatever
what to
you guys want
avoid.
us to answer, and then let us tee off on that. I think
love
that would be fun.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, should we end it? Is there anything we want to talk about from our week? I know you just watched Nashville.
I have a phone call I need to go do because I just got a call and it's apparently very important. So I need to go call him back.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, we hope you enjoyed our meander. It was a nice meander.
Yeah, I think it was insightful. I like hearing about other people's relationships. I like talking about my own.
Yeah.
I think it was fun. I liked it.
So yeah, send us our questions and then we'll do a proper one. And It's not just for women. If you're a dude listening, send your cues too. We'd like to A them.
Oh, I want all of the questions. I want all of it.
Well,
no
guys,
question will be banished from this. I want them all.
Except for the psycho ones. Those will be banished.
No psycho ones.
Yeah, no pervs.
I think that's just in general. Anytime you reach out to us, let's all just be cool.
Everyone just be cool, no pervs.
Please.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's end it, but we know how we need to end it. Let's do the ghost. What's the ghost for the week?
And a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
That ghost thinks he's very funny, but he just ruined the party.
I'm so sorry. Okay, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.